Today we're going to take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly from the Wuthering Waves Cyberpunk collab.
You know, Night City was never really home. Just somewhere I lived for a while. Another high-tech city. But nothing like Star Torch Academy, is it? Got a score to settle with that nightmare-tastic Discord. Everything else can wait.
The oh-so-awaited Cyberpunk collab is finally here, and with it we got tons of information. And per usual, the community is divided. On one side, people are mad at several features from the collab, calling it the worst collab in gacha history, while others are loving it, calling it the best collab in gacha history. So today we will thread right down the middle and break down the collab and point out exactly what it has to offer. Now, before we continue, I do want to let y'all know my personal take regarding the Cyberpunk x WUWA collab. I want to tell y'all what I think about it and overall how I feel, because at the end of the day, no matter what this video says, there's always going to be those weird parasocials in my comments talking about Kurobot, Hoyo Shill, Hypergrifter, or all of the above. There's always going to be that internet weeb that's going to come out saying, how dare you say this about my company? So with that said, guys, let me tell you how I feel. First off, I'm excited. I'm super excited for the Cyberpunk x WUWA collab. I think the characters look great. The combat animations look good. The general stuff from the patch looks pretty normal, pretty interesting. Dope to see Adam Smasher. But with all that, and with the fact that I'm excited, I will be getting Lucy, I will be getting Rebecca, I will be getting their signature weapons. I might even go for dupes on all of them. With all that said, I gotta say, I didn't think the live stream was as great as it could have been. There was some things that I think they could have added that made the stream that much better. And in all reality, when it comes to the banners, when it comes to the Coral Shop, when it comes to the exclusive limited currency for the banner, when it comes to the fact that 50/50 doesn't transfer over to the next banner or the next limited character, when you take into consideration all of those things, there are some factors that I'm not very pleased with. I think they could have done much better. And while I do understand that this is a company and they don't care about us and they're trying to milk us like every single other gaming company, especially in the gacha space, I still think they could have done a little bit better. There are also things that have its good side and its bad side, like the whole summoning event. The more you summon, you get some currency back, and you also have a chance to get the dupes if you summon, enough. I think that's pretty good, but I also don't like the part that the first dupe is at like 160, and then the second dupe should have logically been at like 320 maybe, but then it's 420 or something along those lines. Long story short, that second dupe is hella expensive. There's extra things like the fact that, according to some people, we get less corals when we get characters, and also the fact that we can only use very specific corals from this particular event to get the dupes from the shop, which a lot of people already had a lot of corals. Before we continue into the rest of the video, there is one thing that a lot of people have been complaining about that I personally don't find a problem with, and that is the fact that a lot of people are mad because they converted their astrites into summons, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. You're dumb. Right? Not because of the collab, not because the collab is going to have exclusive summons. No, not because of that. I think it's one of those things where just how Kuro, in my opinion, fucked up in certain aspects of this collab, absolutely, no glaze there. I think that if you're the type of player that converts their astrites into summons, that's a you problem, because it literally gives you no benefit. You're just doing that because you're either impatient or you want to see the amount of summons go up, but in all reality, it doesn't really help you. You don't know if you're going to do a 10 pull and boom, get the character, and then now you have no summons for the weapon. So personally, anybody that converts their astrites into summons, it's pretty dumb. Collab or no collab, save your astrites and use them on the banner. You get no benefit whatsoever from converting your astrite. So that's the only thing that I've seen people, yapping about that has been a little bit of a controversy. But personally, I think that's stupid. And then outside of that, I think, honestly, the banner is like, okay. I don't like the fact that it has 50/50. I think it's wild to have 50/50 on a collab banner and you can lose to a Calcharo, especially when the pity doesn't transfer over to the next banner. I think that's wild. To me, that's crazy. I didn't expect them to remove the 50/50, but still, when you think about it, it's pretty damn wild. Now, the next thing that I do think is wild as hell as well is the fact that the coral is going to be separate from the coral we already have. A lot of people have been saving coral, and saving coral is completely different from turning your asteroids into summons. A lot of us have saved coral, and we were waiting to use that coral for dupes like we've been doing to this day. So, okay, fine, you go ahead and make your exclusive summon currency, but at least keep the goddamn same corals, and it's not. So that's a little bit of a problem there. That's my take. I'm still excited. I'm still going to summon because I like the characters. I think the quality is absolutely there. They look great. They have great animations. Hopefully they perform as good as, you know, collab characters should, but we'll have to wait and see. With all that, let's hop on into the rest of the video. I'm gonna just skim through some of the things that I personally think are really good when it comes to the Cyberpunk collab. Then we'll go on to the bad, and then we'll go on to the ugly. Kicking things off with, the characters look amazing, let's be honest. Insanely good detail in their design. The gameplay looks pretty damn good. The animations and cutscenes that we've seen when they use their abilities and skills look great. And their ultimate animations are absolutely peak. Every time they're on screen, every time we've seen animations from the story previews that we saw, they look really good. On top of that, we have a free Rebecca. This is massive and pretty hype, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, every collab gives away a free character. That does not take away from the fact that getting a free Rebecca is still pretty hype, just like every collab ever that gave away a free character was pretty damn hype. The summon rebate event, it's good, and it does have bad parts to it, but we're going to talk about the good ones first, and then we'll talk about the bad ones later. First off, if you're already planning to summon for the collab units, being able to get some summons back, and later on being able to get some dupes is pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. I think that's an awesome way to get yourself some dupes on your characters, and if you're a whale or you're someone that has been saving for a while, going for like an S3 or an S6, you're going to get a lot of value for your buck. And then on top of that, we did get a little bit of overall cyberpunk vibes. We're getting a little bit of Night City. We're getting, obviously, the really good characters. We're going to see a little bit of David in the story, even if it's a flashback or a quick scene. And then we also got Adam Smasher. So overall, there's a lot of pretty good things when it comes to the Cyberpunk collab and what they're doing to bring Night City into the world of Wuthering Waves. Moving on, we have the bad, and once again, there are things that aren't that good, and like everything, there's always room for improvement. This doesn't generally mean that this is the worst collab in gacha history, this is horrendous, this is trash. What this means is that there are parts that they didn't deliver on as well as they did with some others. The first one is, they missed out on not adding a bike exclusive skin with the cyberpunk theme. I mean, come on now, you guys might not know about this, but Cyberpunk got some insane graphics, insane designs, and it would have been really damn cool to see a Cyberpunk skin. On top of that, they dropped some paid cosmetic attachments. I mean, I get it, you can get those with asteroids as well, but it would have been pretty good to just add them to the game via some events, some activities to do that reward us with some of these, and even though they have done that and they are going to do that as well, these aren't really that hype in my opinion. I think they were alright and they could have just added it to the patch to give it a little bit more oomph. Another one, no character skins. Look, I'm gonna add this to every single patch because I want character skins in Wuthering Waves. If you guys don't know, there is a game that is also developed by Kuro Games called Punishing Gray Raven, and let me tell you some, chat. These are some of the best looking skins I've seen in the gacha space, so I always wait for the great day that Kuro will give us some amazing skins to our characters that are not turtlenecks or just regular daily clothing items. On top of that, let's move on over to the summon rebate. We just talked about that in the good, so why is it in the bad? Well, because there's always sides to everything and not everything is all good or all bad. And the bad part about the summon rebate event is that, first off, it's a little bit goddamn high, especially for that second dupe. First and foremost, I think it's totally fine that the first summon or the first dupe that we get for one of these characters is at 160. I think that's totally fair considering they are going to be giving us a bunch of those limited summons, on top of the fact that by the time you get to 160, you would have also gotten several summons from the rebate event itself. But what I don't like, it's the second dupe, and yes, we are still getting dupes for free, so that's still amazing and that's still great. But the fact that they put it at 420 is pretty damn insane. They should have put that at 320, so it's just double the first one, and I think it would have been really damn good. I think that's a little bit of a personal gripe with it. I don't know if that's that bad at the end of the day, because I was still planning to summon, but it would have been nice if it was just 320. And last but not least, we have the ugly. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of things up in here. We don't have a lot, but the ones that are here are quite meaningful. With that said, I want to let y'all know, I'm not pointing these things out because I think this is the worst collab of all time, but like everything, there are some good things, some amazing things, some bad things, and some horrible things. And the ones in this category, I personally think, are pretty damn bad. The first one is the fact that they decided to go with a different currency. Now, I understand there are games out there that do different currency for their collab banners, but there's also a lot of games that don't do that and use the same exact currency they've always been using. Notice how I'm not mentioning any games. I'm not trying to turn this into a tribalistic thing of my game did that, your game did this, because I think that's pretty damn corny, and if you do that, you're corny as hell. You're playing WUWA, so let's stick to WUWA. Now, moving back over to the different currency topic, I think the big problem is the fact that we get so many gold summons throughout, the patches, the events, and all of that, that a lot of people have been skipping some great banners because they thought they were going to use this gold currency on the collab banners, and then the dev said nope, and even saying no is fine. What's not fine is telling us 8 days before the collab goes live. I think that if they told us 2-3 months ago, some people would have been able to get some characters that would have been great for their account, some Linnaeus, Morniers, and others, but they've been saving those gold summons because they thought they could use it. So giving us a little bit more of a heads up would have been a lot better. A lot of people already thought we were going to get exclusive currency, but actually knowing is a whole different thing, especially on such short notice. Now, the next thing is also really messed up in my personal opinion, and once again, these things in the ugly, I don't really see how you can defend them. They're just the way they are, and that is the fact that pity doesn't transfer. I get it, but also kind of anti-player friendly. Once again, I understand why your pity doesn't transfer. They're trying to milk us, yada yada yada. But it's also kind of messed up, right? Because let's say you go all the way to pity and you somehow get a Verena, bro. You get a goddamn Verena, right? And then you continue summoning, and then the patch ends, and you were like 10 pulls away from getting to pity, to guaranteed pity again. Guess what? All that just disappeared. It doesn't transfer over to another limited banner. It's just gone. And that is absolutely atrocious. I think they should have never done that. And when I look at the banner as a whole, while it has good things, while the characters are great, we can't look past the part where the banner is structured in such a way to milk us as much as possible, to generate FOMO, to make sure that people ideally spend money. And I mean, once again, it's a business. This is what they do. Who's surprised? Nobody. But I do think it's kind of messed up. And the last thing that I'll throw in here, even though it was in the bad, is the fact that we have Sephiroth Coral. I think that's kind of messed up. And from what people are saying, I haven't done the math, I've been really busy, still taking care of my dog, is the fact that it seems, not spreading misinformation, correct me if I'm wrong, that people are saying that we get less coral when we summon on this banner, making it even harder to get the things from the coral shop. Now, I could be wrong, but that's the word on the street, and that's pretty much it for the ugly. You know what's crazy? Regardless of how I put this video, whether I was very fair, pointing out the things that I consider bad and also pointing out the things that I consider good, there is always going to be some people, regardless whether they watch the video or not, that are going to be in my comments calling me either a Kuro bot because I didn't condemn the game, or they're going to be calling me X game and a shill. So they're going to be saying Hoyo shill, Arknight shill, simply because I said anything negative towards an aspect of the game. And I just want to tell y'all this, bro. Don't be like either of those two people. Play this game, enjoy this game, pull the characters you want, beat the content, and then at the end of the day, go play another one. Have fun. Go out and touch some grass, bro. There is going to be great games now, but believe me, there's going to be even better games in the future. So stop treating these games like they're your real waifu, like you got in that body pillow. Stop doing that, guys, right? Stop being tribalistic. Stop being a suck off to all these devs and just have fun. And that's it, bro. If you see some dude online being tribalistic, just post a meme making fun of them. Like, haha, this is bait or some shit. But that's going to be it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding this whole Cyberpunk X Wuthering Waves collab. Overall, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to pulling, but I think they could have done better. Now I'm going to leave you all with a bunch of pictures from a bunch of tweets from people on the internet and how they feel about the collab. Peace.
You know, Night City was never really home. Just somewhere I lived for a while. Another high-tech city. But nothing like Star Torch Academy, is it? Got a score to settle with that Nightmare Tacit Discord. Everything else can wait. Let's play. Mine now. This might hurt. We're not done yet. Optics override. Haven't caught on yet. Reboot! Data wipe! You're under new management. Nowhere to go.
Time to knock the rust off! Like in Spain! Do your work! Flathead! Open wide! Too slow! Get lost! It's red o'clock! Die, die, die! Say your goodbye!
Lucy, listen. Do not resist. Everything